Hey guys, welcome back to GM Games and welcome back to another episode here of Out of the Park Baseball 24 with the Chicago White Sox. I know this isn't a live stream. No live stream last night. I was, well, it's Monday. That's why I say last night. No live stream last night. I was busy watching that train wreck that was Game 7 between the Bruins and the Panthers. So I record this video with a little bit of a heavy heart. As my dear Bruins were dispatched in 7 by the Panthers. But, it's just a game and we move on. So I want to give you guys a couple of videos this week. We are really just steamrolling through the rest of, the rest of the American League. We have a 98-49 record right now. We are 15 games, roughly 14 games, better than the next best team, which is the Washington Nationals. Which, knowing Out of the Park Baseball, means we probably lose in the American League Division Series. But we'll get to that when we get to that. So let's finish up the regular season. Let's take a look at the stats and let's get to what's hopefully a successful postseason. We got Houston for a couple of games coming up, followed by Detroit. Yeah, the Tigers, they won the division last year in convincing fashion. They won it going away, but this year has not been all that successful for them. 2 wins away from 100. We lose the first game 5-3. Taylor Dollard pitches today, looking to get our 99th win. We lose back-to-back games to a really not good Houston team. Phone and my email both go off at the same time. And we win the final game of the series against Houston 5-2. Let me shut the audio off on this computer here. I'll just keep my phone in my lap. So we win 5-2. Freddie Freeman, couple hits, couple RBIs. Rodriguez, 3 hits and an RBIs. Blake Hunt, 2 hits, 2 RBIs. Freeman with his 22nd. We're going to have to figure out what to do. We got a couple of... there's a lot that we have to consider in the offseason. We picked up Heriberto Hernandez in June of last episode. He's been swinging an okay bat. Freeman doesn't want... We still want a big contract. It's 38 years old. The last couple of years of that will probably be a train wreck. So I don't know that I'm comfortable with that, but we'll see. We will see. Right now, our fan interest... I can't believe our fan interest is only a 78, given we're 1 win away from 100 games. We really need to make a significant postseason run. We need ideally a World Series championship is what would hopefully bring some fans in. Riley Green goes 3 for 4. Marcelo Meyer, a couple hits. Dylan Cease with his 16th victory of the season. Another win, and we lose our starting shortstop for 5 weeks. That's not ideal. We should have him back by... I don't know, maybe the division series, maybe the championship series. Riley Green, 4 for 4 with 4 RBIs. Jace Jung with a grand slam. Matt Brash, he's another one. 15 wins, just absolutely. We opened things up for Matt a little bit here this season. We increased his pitch count to 110. His stamina is also up to a 45, so... all of a sudden, he's going to end up pitching close to 200 innings this season. He's been really good. All right, what do we do at shortstop? Let me just go to Nicky Lopez. That was why we signed him, right? Let's stick him in the number 9 hole. Leave everything else the way it was. Appleby today. No game. Looks like he got rained out. We got Houston again. Yeah, I didn't want to finish up the season offline. I wanted to, even though we were 20 games up or whatever, I wanted to bring you guys back to kind of watch the end of the regular season with me before we get to the postseason. And hopefully we don't get to the offseason right away. Hopefully there's a bit of a delay before the offseason. Houston giving us some problems here down the stretch, though. They beat us in what, four out of 5 here in the last week and a half. We finally win there. We win 4-2. Montgomery, a couple hits and 3 RBIs. This is encouraging, given that his ratings dropped. To see that he's still, I mean, it's not great. He's been slightly below average. But given where his ratings dropped to, the problem is we can't keep both Montgomery and, good, Josh Hader's hurt. We can't keep both Benny Montgomery and Parker Meadows. It's redundant. So, is pending. That stinks because Hader's been really good since we brought him on. Hopefully it's not a long-term injury. Keep the fingers crossed. It's still pending. Oh, God, look at all these injuries, man. I mean, thankfully they're all day-to-day, but still nothing on Hader. That's not encouraging. Appleby is supposed to pitch today, but he's day-to-day. I don't know if that's necessarily the best idea. Gorman 3 for 5, 4 RBIs. Green 3 for 5, 3 RBIs. Parker Meadows 2 for 6, 3 RBIs. Brash only goes 4. What is wrong with Appleby? Is it an arm thing? It's a back stiffness. It has no effect on his throwing, so we'll just let him pitch through it. We get Sugesti back tomorrow as well. We get Rodriguez. All right, so there's Sugesti. Still nothing on Hader. I don't want to waive Pavloni. I think we do this. Yeah. No. I mean, I assume Hader's injury is going to be, so we'll just do this. We'll just do a rehab assignment until we find out about Hader, because I'm assuming the injury to Hader is going to be substantial, given that it's been a week that it's been pending. I just don't want to pitch Serna with an injured arm. After all that, he's only out for 1 to 2 weeks. All right, that's fine. So I think we just stick with the lineup we have with Hunt and Pavloni doing the catching until the end of the season, and then Sugesti can come in for Pavloni once we get to the offseason. All right, so Hernandez, 3 hits, 3 runs scored. Riley Green, 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 2 for 3. 3 RBIs are Rosarena and Freeman. Yeah, Rosarena. You got 1 year left at $24 million. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do. I mean, it might be in our best interests to move on from Randy. I mean, the numbers slipped pretty substantially offensively. He's still really good defensively, and he's still really popular. So I don't know. It's going to be a thing. All right, so we need to bench Hader here, or Serna here. Let's bench him for 5 days. Then I need to figure out what I'm going to do from a pitching perspective, right? Colin McKinney's up next year. How do you do in AAA? Really well. Good. That's good to see. We don't really have, and we're without Hader, so I guess Musgrove gets the start today. Yeah. And we'll see who it starts. Lose 9-6. Who started? Cassetta Stubbs. Okay, that's fine. And then, wow, Cam Robinson picks up the loss. That's a bit surprising. Game 2. Yeah, so we'll have Hader for our first round series, and we'll have Serna back too. But he might be that fourth starter. He might be that fourth starter in the postseason. We win 7-5. Freddie Freeman breaks 100 RBIs. Nolan Gorman. I talked about this, right? I said if he can give us a 240, 250 batting average and 25 to 30 home runs, it's value. And he's given us that. He's given us that pop that we lack otherwise. Although I'm hopeful that Hernandez can provide some of that as well. If his contact does cap out at a 70, if these ratings cap out where they are, he's going to be a great middle of the order bat for us. Cease went 5, didn't pitch particularly well in his final start. That's okay. Matt Brash will go today. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's my biggest concern. Just stay healthy. And he does. We win 13-4. Did we have... I missed player development. So Serna gets a little worse. He's up to a 65 overall. His stuff is up to a 65. Yeah, and he's going to be a beast. Cam Robinson gets a little worse. That's not encouraging. And I think next year, he goes to $7 million in ARB, so we'll have to figure out what we want to do there. Raylan Perez, it's a little better, but he wasn't great this year. Marcelo Meyer gets better. The eye gets better. Yeah, he had a really nice season. Like what we got out of Marcelo this season. Gorman gets worse. Montgomery gets worse. Gabriel Hughes, that trade continues to bite me in the butt, but that's okay. Riley Jackson is a catcher who can't catch, but the hitting is coming along. Had a really nice year in high A ball this year. He'll start next year in double A. Drew Downs was our 3rd round pick in 2027. Wow. I think he just got better too. Yeah, the ratings are going up. Love that. Jeremy Maxey. Low work ethic, but really good. Yeah, he was one of our draft picks this season. I drafted him because of the glove. Looks like he got better. Acevedo was one of our international guys back in 2024. He's still a ways off. All right, regular season ends. How did the final game go? Parker Meadows had 3 hits. Nolan Gorman, 3 hits, 4 RBIs. Blake Hunt, 2 hits, 3 RBIs. Jace Jung hit 310 for us this season. I called him up as sort of an afterthought. He put up a 923 OPS. Brash goes 6 2/3. All right, so the season ends with us 106-56, 21 games clear of the Royals. We score the 4th most amount of runs. Give up the fewest amount of runs. We have one of the better defenses, top half in the American League. Offensively, what is this showing? Bradley Green led us in WAR. Really nice first season for us, or for him with Chicago. We'll bring him back next season. That ARB number is pretty scary, but we can probably make it work. Nolan Gorman put up over 3 WAR for us this season, hit almost 40 home runs. Rosarena, again, those numbers are down a bit. We're probably walking away from Randy, realistically, because the numbers we got out of Parker Meadows are almost identical in far less playing time, and he's better defensively. Meyer had a really good year. Freddie Freeman gave us exactly what we wanted, which was a, good bat in the lineup. Again, 25 home runs, the most he's hit since 2024, 104 runs, the most he's driven in since 2019, 2.8 WAR. Probably a 1-year thing, but we'll see. Blake Hunt was fine as the second half of our catching tandem. Again, Benny Montgomery, bit disappointing, but still put up a WAR, stole 18 bases. Hernandez overall didn't have a great season. He was much better with us than he was with Tampa. Hopefully that continues on next season. And then pitching-wise, just great numbers. Matt Brash, 16-4, 206 strikeouts, 4.2 WAR. Potential Cy Young winner. We'll see what happens there. Caleb Appleby finishes his rookie campaign 10-7 with a 3.64. Struck out 166 batters in 128 innings. If he can stay healthy, 70 stuff, 70 movement, 40 control, 4+ pitches, he could be an animal. Taylor Dollard, he was okay. 2.6 WAR. He probably gets moved out of the rotation next season, honestly, unless we move on from Cease, which is a possibility, given that we've got a young player on the way up. He is fragile, and he's only got 1 year. It's a vesting option that I think will vest, right? Yeah, 160 innings. Did he pitch 160 innings? He pitched 195. So that will vest. But $17 million for Brash or for Cease isn't terrible. Hader was really good after coming over from Philadelphia. Serna, his rookie season was uneven. It was okay. 151 innings, 140 Ks, 7-9. I don't know. We'll probably get more out of him next season, I would assume. John Schreiber, we picked up at the deadline. He was really good as well. And he's ARB eligible. ARB number of 3.2, so we'll see what happens there. Cam Robinson, we probably move on from. Try to trade him. Again, ARB eligible. That ARB number goes up to 7. He's been really good for us as a closer, but it's not hard to find reliable bullpen arms in this game. So I don't know that we want to pay $7 million to Robinson. We'll see, though. Norge Vera we moved him into the bullpen, and he was unbelievable. 2.28 ERA plus. He struck out 85. Only get 38 hits in 61 innings. I just dropped my phone. We moved him into the bullpen, and he was electric. Jay Wolfuk, who we called up midway through the season. All he did was, put up a 2.96 ERA plus, a 1.36 ERA. He was great. He's not that far off from Cam Robinson, and he's making the minimum. Musgrove we picked up in exchange for Stephen Kwan, so that we could rid ourselves of Steven's contract. So Musgrove will be gone at the end of the year. Max Meyer wasn't particularly good this year. He was okay. He gives us that long relief guy in the middle. So ARB number of 4.4, maybe. We'll see. Frazier Ellard, back-to-back seasons of leading the American League in appearances. 1.6 ARB number. Yeah, he has some pretty severe splits. But in this role, he's been really good. Then Raylan Perez wasn't good this year at all, which is a bit surprising. So hope for a bounce-back season from Raylan next year. So that's kind of how things went from a statistical perspective. Minor leagues, talked about Colin McKinney. Our top pitching prospect will be up with the big team next year. Went 9-6 in the minors this year. Do we have anybody else in AAA? No prospects. No prospects in AA. Single A, we talked about Drew Jones and Riley Jackson already. Michael Mullinax. Looks like the bat's finally starting to come along a little bit. We do have to put him on the 40-man this offseason. But the bat finally starting to come along, which is good to see. David Paulson was our number 1 pick this past season, and he raked in A-ball. The right fielder with a cannon for an arm. He raked. That's encouraging. Josh Moore, we picked him up because of his defense. The bat wasn't there, but defensively he was really good at shortstop. Brennan Siegler was our 5th-round pick this season. He didn't hit well, but again, that glove. Tenorio was a scouting discovery back in 2023. Looks like this development is recent. Yeah, but that's good. TJ Ferris, our knuckleballer, is out for 7 weeks, but the growth is real. The growth is real from the knuckleballer. 3-2 with a 4.10 ERA. He probably stays in high in A, or maybe move him to high A ball next year. We'll see if there's any development in the offseason from Ferris. Josh Cullen was our 4th-round pick this past season. Took a shot on the young 18-year-old. Garrett Mesh was a 8th-round pick 2 years ago. Now the numbers of the ratings have started to dip a bit. On the international complex, we got a couple of really good potential players there, but it's hard to tell with those guys because they're still so far away. All right, so let's get to the postseason. Actually, let's look at the standings. So it looks like it can be Tampa. So the White Sox and either the Rangers or the Rays will have first-round byes. The Yankees, Royals, A's are your wild cards. In the NL, look at the parity there. Wow. The Mets went 90 and 72. Three best records in the National League are all in the NL East. Mets, Cubs win the National League Central at an 81 and 81 record. The Giants were under 500 and out of the playoff race until they went on a 7-game winning streak to end the season. They win the West at 84 and 78. Excuse me. Aaron Judge, 42 home runs. Shohei, 115 RBIs. Dylan Cruz, 45 home runs for Washington. Cool. Let's get to the offseason, or the postseason, rather. Oh, we have to set our rosters, don't we? Playoff rosters, players eligible for the postseason. When do we get Rojas back? 3 weeks, yeah. So is there anybody not on the playoff roster that we want? Oh, yeah, Sugastey. Pavloni. Sugastey comes off. We will put him in at catcher. We're going to have to... Who do I take off Musgrove? He's not going to pitch. And we need... Where is... Wait a second. Why is... I'm really confused. Why is Nicky Lopez not eligible to be on the playoff roster? He wasn't on the 40-man at roster expansion. Wait, no, he was part of our organization prior to roster expansion. Oh, he wasn't. Oh, and be on the 40-man roster now. He is on the 40-man roster, so why is he not being allowed on our playoff roster? You guys are gonna have to let me know. I don't know why that is. Why that's a thing. So I guess Jaloff. We start Rodriguez at shortstop. I mean, that flies in the face of what we try to do defensively, but it is what it is. Let's make sure that the AI doesn't do anything weird with our lineups. Jung there, put Montgomery there. Blake Hunt, never. It's mostly, I think, in case of injury, right? If there needs to be a substitution here in the postseason. Against lefties, Jaloff will be our main pinch hitter. Against righties, it'll be Jung. All right, now we can get to it. Let's get to the next round of the playoffs. Taking on either the Royals or the A's. Hopefully it's the Royals who finished 20-plus games behind us. Braves and Cubs, A's and Rays in the American League. So the Cubs win. Taking on the Oakland Athletics, an old friend, Max Fried. Old friend Max Fried now pitching for Oakland. And he was really good for Oakland. The numbers have maintained. I'm surprised that he's been able to maintain, but he's really good this year for Oakland, 15 and 10. So the A's went 89 and 73. Good pitching staff, best starters ERA in the American League. Oh, they got Woodruff too. Brandon Woodruff, Max Fried, and Vince Sanchez. Holy wow. Trade with Baltimore. He was a reliever last year. They made him a starter this season. Yeah, they got three really, really good starters. Offensively, they're not very good. They do have some injuries here. Dylan Beavers, but even him, he had 21 home runs. It was their best offense. Yeah, they're. I mean, they score a lot of runs somehow, but they're not a very good offensive team. So we will see how it goes. We need to set our pitching staff. That's Oakland's pitching staff. It's not what I want to look at. I want to look at ours. So Dollard will come out. Serena's ready. We'll go with a 4-man rotation. We will start with Dylan Cease. Bump Appleby up to 100. Bring him in earlier. Use more often for Schreiber. He was really good. Hader's out for 3 days still. That's fine. Yep. Cool. All right. Here we go. Postseason. I mean, first postseason we've gone into as the White Sox is really, I would say, the overall favorites, right? So it's Fried against Cease in game 1 at home, and it goes to Oakland. We get shut out 3-0. Fried goes 4. Cease goes 4 1/3. Zach Geloff hits a home run. So now we have to win. I guess we got Woodruff against. I'm convinced that we're gonna get swept or lose. Let's see what happens in game 2. I don't want to count my chickens here, but let's see what happens in game 2. Series is tied at 1. We win 7-1. Home runs from Green, Hernandez, and Rodriguez. Matt Brash does Matt Brash things. 6 1/3, 7 strikeouts. So Woodruff didn't pitch game 2. So he's going to be going in game 3 in Oakland. It's going to be Appleby against Woodruff. And we should get Hader back now as well, which means we can go lean on him a little bit too. Not that our pitching is a problem, right? I mean, our pitching staff is fantastic. So just, in our offense, I mean, really our offense was really good. This is the best offense we've had in our 5 seasons with the White Sox. All right, here we go. Appleby against Woodruff in Oakland, and we are up 2-1. We win 6-2. We get 4 hits from Freddie Freeman. Gorman homers, Parker Meadows homers. Appleby only goes 3 2/3, and we went right to the bullpen. Hader pitched 2 1/3 shutout innings. Meyer was perfect for 2. Schreiber struggled, but then Raylan Perez came in and locked it down. And we go for the series victory here in game 4 with Luis Serna on the hill against Vince Sanchez. Series is tied at 2. We lose 4-0. So we've lost 2 games. We've been shut out in both of those games. They hit 4 solo home runs. Shea Langelier and Darrell Ernais, each with solo home runs. It's going to come down to Cease and Fried in Game 5 in Chicago. Max Fried looking to knock his old team out of the playoffs. We look to continue a 106-win season, and we do. Oof. I was going to say, I don't want to be like the Bruins. I don't want to end up like the Bruins here in this episode. We win 3-1. Riley Green with a home run. He was named the series MVP. Dylan Cease pitches an inning and a third and gets pulled, and it was a bullpen game. Wow, but our bullpen was up to the task. 7 2/3 of 3-hit, 1-run ball. Our bullpen, Max Fried only went 2/3 of an inning too. Both starting pitchers were pulled due to injury. That's okay. A win's a win. A win's a win. And we move on to the American League Championship Series against the Texas Rangers. Let's look at Texas. 91-71 for the Rangers. Any major injuries? Griffin Canning, Kumar Rocker, arthritic elbow. That's never good. So they've got some bullpen issues, but second best offense in the American League. Their pitching staff is not good, and they're not great defensively, but they've got a good offense. Aaron Zavala, 298, 23 home runs. Luis Angel Lacuna, 288, 26 home runs. Corey Seager now at DH. They got Doogie, Alex Verdugo now playing for the Rangers. I mean, I guess their offense is okay. Wouldn't say it's great. Alex Mooney's pretty good at the top of the lineup. I mean, they're all right. They got old friend Tanner Houck, who pitched well his first full season. He's considered their ace. Good for Tanner. The international showcase starting tomorrow. So we're going to have Matt Brash going in game 1, which that is fine with me. All right, let's look at the... Nope. International. He looks okay, but he wants $3 million. Yeah, like Luis Oliveira. Let's invite him. He's absolutely, I mean, high work ethic. I mean, he's passable at third base. And he only wants $900,000 right now. Low work ethic here out of Rivera, but again, that number is okay. Neither of those catchers are particularly good defensively. Yeah, a lot of these players want more money than I would be willing to commit. We can bring in Miranda. Let's look at pitchers. Ooh, not a lot going on here. Not a lot going on here at all. Take a look at Snake Eyes, Esteban Alvarado, because he only wants $370K. Not a lot there this year. I mean, some good ratings, but like I don't want to spend what's going to equate to. I mean, he's a first base. His nickname's Halibut. Okay, I'm going to invite people based off their nicknames. All right, let's go to, let's go ahead and run practice. Yeah, Oliveira is the big one. If we can get him, 100%. All right, here we go. American League Championship Series. Texas Rangers, Chicago White Sox. We were 5-1 against the Rangers in the regular season. Jalen Beeks against Matt Brash. And the Rangers beat up on Matt Brash because of course they do. And we lose game 1, 8-0. Find ourselves in a hole just like we did in the division series. Moose. Oh, a lot of people retiring. A lot of players retiring. All right, game 2, Owen White, Caleb Appleby. Series is tied at 1. We win 5-4. We walk it off in the 10th. Rosarena, 2 hits and an RBI. Parker Meadows, 2 for 4. Jose Rodriguez, 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Appleby pitches well. Our bullpen implodes a little bit. Vera gave up a run. Robinson gave up a couple runs. Not what we're used to seeing out of our bullpen, but that's okay. We got Rojas back in a week, so if we make the World Series, we will have our starting shortstop, which is nice. Serna against Dean Kramer here in Game 3. Or against Tanner Houck, I guess. Goes to the White Sox. We win 9-2. We have 2 starting pitchers with injuries right now. Serna's down with a sore ankle. Hader comes in, pitches well. Green homers, Sugesti homers, Hernandez homers. Game 4. That going to be Cease against Kramer? It looks like it will be. Series is tied at 2, so Dean Kramer beats Dylan Cease in Game 4. Because sure, why not? Dylan went 4. Kramer went 5 1/3 shutout. All right. The all-important Game 5 will be a rematch of Game 1. Matt Brash and Jalen Beeks. Goes to the Rangers again. 6-5. Brash gave up 4 unearned runs. Our catcher made 2 errors in that game. So apparently we haven't fixed our catching problem. Something we'll have to think about in the offseason. But now we got to win 2 games. I mean, at least they're at home. Win 2 games at home against Texas. It'll be our 2 rookies, Caleb Appleby and Luis Serna. Got to get through Game 6, though, before we get to Game 7. Owen White, Caleb Appleby. Series is tied at 3. We win 7-6. We score 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th, and we hold on in the 9th inning. Robinson gives up a couple of runs. Appleby pitches well enough. Meyer, Gorman, Meadows all homer. It will come down to Game 7. Again, our first round series, Game 7 was Max Fried, the former Chicago White Sox, pitching for Oakland in Game 5 of that series. Here we have Tanner Houck, the former Chicago White Sox, pitching Game 7 in the ALCS with a chance to go to the World Series. And it's us. We win both games at home to go to the World Series. You'll love to see this. The winning pitcher was a trade deadline acquisition. The MVP of the series was a mid-season acquisition. We win 6-3. Serna doesn't make it through 4. But Josh Hader was 3-0. It's 3-0 in the postseason, and our bullpen pitches really, really well, and we make our first World Series, which is great. And now we can go to Rojas, get our starting shortstop back out there, which is huge. Jung Rodriguez Meadows, and then against lefties, Rodriguez will be our first. Jung and Montgomery. All right, cool. So we make our first World Series, and it hasn't been easy. We were taking on the San Francisco Giants, who continue to be red hot, guys. The Giants, 84-78 going into the they were 7 what were they in their last day? They won 7 in a row. They were 84-78, which means they were 77-78. Then they won 7 straight games to win the National League West. They took out the Cubs in 5. The Mets in 5. Now they're taking on the White Sox. So let's look at the San Francisco Giants. Middle of the pack offensively. Great pitching, as always, in San Francisco. They're without Chris Sale, won 9 games for them this year. They'll have Ryan Pepio, Alek Manoah, Reed Detmers, and Matt Mikulski. I mean, that looks all right, I guess. I mean, the ratings aren't anything to, write home about. Offensively, Marco Luciano, really good year, 30-100. Pete Alonso, second year with the Giants. A couple of good power seasons, but that's about it. I mean, 5 through 9, there's not a lot there. Not a lot there, 5 through 9. If we can, Vaughn Brown, if we can limit the damage that their 3-4 hitters do, I think we're okay. I don't know. I mean, I hate to say it because, we should have ran away and hid with those 2 previous series, but all right, here we go. And I think, guys, our rotation's set. Are we really going? Yeah, we have Dylan Cease going in Game 1, and he's healthy. Dylan Cease going in Game 1. He is healthy against their ace. And we take a 1-0 series lead with an 8-2 victory in Game 1. We get home runs from Hernandez, Freeman, and Arozarena. Dylan Cease goes 4. Dollard with his first appearance in the postseason, 2 2/3 of shutout. John Schreiber comes in. We take Game 1. Then we got Brash against Manoah here in Game 2. We take a 2-0 series lead. We win 5-4 in 13 innings. We walk it off in the 13th. Parker Meadows with an RBI single in the bottom of the 13th to win it. Marcelo Meyer, 2 for 5. Arozarena, 2 hits and an RBI. Brash went 5 1/3. But Perez, Robinson, Hader go 6 2/3 to keep the game close. We have a 2-0 series lead as we go to San Francisco. Caleb Appleby against Reed Detmers in Game 3. Goes to the White Sox. We are 1 win away. 19-inning Game 3. 19-inning Game 3, guys. And we win 5-3. Heriberto Hernandez, 2 for 9 with a couple of runs knocked in. Look at this pitching. Oh my gosh. So Appleby was only able to go 3 2/3 innings. Wolfhook gave up a couple of runs in the 6th, but this is insane. Meyer went 2 1/3. Vera went 2/3 of an inning. Robinson went 2. Hader went 3. Josh Hader went 3 innings. He only threw 38 pitches, though. Struck out 5. Schreiber an inning and 2/3. Perez 2/3. Dollard 2 1/3. Wow. So Game 3 was a Classic. And it's Luis Serna against Matt Mikulski here in Game 4 as we look to close out the sweep and win our first World Series at the helm of the White Sox. It won't be today. They beat us 6-0. Our bullpen is probably pretty tired. Yeah. I mean, we have Vera and Ellard who are ready to go right now. Cease will start tomorrow. So hopefully we have some more pitchers that are healthy starting tomorrow. Yeah, Brash. Okay, so we got Cease who's ready to pitch. Vera, Wolfert, Elias. And so we got plenty of pitchers who are ready to pitch here in this one this afternoon. So it's Cease against Pepio in Game 5. And we do it. We win our first World Series, guys, with a 5-1 victory. Freddie Freeman is your World Series MVP. The White Sox with 4 runs in the 9th. A 3-run home run by Parker Meadows with 2 on and 2 outs in the 9th inning give us the 5-1 victory and our first World Series. Something about year 5. We won in year 5 with the Cubs. We won in year 5 with the White Sox. So far, neither team has been more successful than the other. I think both teams had 106 wins in their 5th season. This is crazy. But we win. We win our first World Series, guys. We did it. We did it. And we're going to move on to the off season. Let's go, as they say. Chicago beat San Francisco in the World Series. Yes, we did. And it's November 1st. So let's quickly do our international scouting. Cool. So the league interest is still really low on Oliveira. If it stays low on Oliveira and Miranda, and I can get both of them and Alvarado, that would be fantastic. All right, let's sim the day. Let's get to the offseason. We did it, guys. And we were the best team in the majors from the start of the year to the end. So we did it. We did it. Would have been nice to do this on a live stream, but, you know, it is what it is. Expansion. We've got expansion in our world, folks. All right. He met his vesting option. No surprise there. New budget, $160 million. So we have nothing. This guy, man, this owner, man, he's killing me. Absolutely killing me. We do have a lot of money for extensions, but this man is killing me. First base coach retired, so we do need to pick up a first base coach. We don't have a top 10 prospect. We'll look at that in a second. In fact, we'll look at that now. That'll be, let's look at our personnel. So let's find some people let's find a first base coach who is good at working with personable. He's outstanding at running. He's excellent at everything. Okay, so just find a first base coach who is personable and is, I want to add, personality is personable, and we want to add positive is personable. Nobody. Cool. All right, let's change the filter. Let's remove that one and do that. All right. Jason Smith will be our first base coach. Great. Let's look at scouts and see if there's a new scout that might be better than what we currently have. Highly favors tools. Rafael Garcia is a highly favors tools guys, but he's only decent at scouting the majors. think we stick with what we have for right now. Yep. All right. So we have some decisions to make here. What does Freddie want? Yep. We will offer him a qualifying offer, 100%. Let's go here. Where am I going? I am going here. And I am going here. And we are going to offer contracts to all of our minor league players that aren't retiring. All right. So Cam Robinson wants 6.5. I think that's a movable contract, honestly. I don't want to try Microsoft 360 family for free. I'm good. Thank you. All right, so we do get some options here. Doesn't look like it's going to be anything great from a prospect perspective. Yeah, really nothing. Morales, he's out for 4 months with a flexor injury. I would get Poisson if we didn't just pick him up in our Cubs save. Well, I guess we didn't just pick him up in the Cubs save. Okay, let's look at maybe there's a regular in there that is on the league minimum. Stomach is growling. I'm hungry. Gotta eat something. Alex Santos. He's ARB eligible. ARB number of 1.3. That saves us a little bit of money. Not much, but a little bit of money. I mean, it saves us $4 million or something, but fan favorite. He's on the league minimum. Yeah, he's a fan favorite. I'll do that. He's well known. What's the difference between well known and very popular? I guess we'll find out. We didn't take a bump for losing Rodriguez or Robinson, but we pick up a point or something for finished up to an 89 right now, which is good. So we still have to cut about $3 million before we can start thinking about signing players to arbitration. So let's do it this way. Let's go here and here. Anybody that we can just go ahead and cut. Hackenberg. It saves us a tiny bit, but every bit helps, right? Every bit helps. Gabriel Hughes, we can go ahead and release him too. That was a waste. I'm just going to cut him so that I don't have to look at him anymore. I think that's it. I think that's it from players that we can just cut. Elder Cantorino. I forgot about Bryce Elder. That's right. He's down in AAA right now. He was not good in the majors, but we may need him. Maybe we don't need him. Cantorino's another one. He was pretty good in AAA. I mean, those are players that I want to hang on to because I don't know what our minor league system is going to look like or what our major league team is going to look like here shortly. All right, so we have a little bit of money. I don't know if it's going to be enough to sign anybody to an arbitration contract. Let's see. Yeah, right now, maximum allowable contract's $300,000. So I think this is the time. And he doesn't have 2 years left. He only has 1 year left. Ugh. I mean, we could just trade him for Abdel Guadalupe. See Snow. I mean, I'll retain a little bit of his money this year. I don't care. He's not going to retain much. All right, I think that's the mark. Arnold Prado. So we're going to say about $21 million doing this, which is, we can then go in and sign all of our free agents. We are going to take a fan interest bump for trading a Rosarena, but I think it's the right move right now. The other option is Cease, who's very popular. I mean, we think we hold on to Cease for now. You can never have too much pitching, especially with the volatility of young pitchers. So I think we make this deal right now. Fans aren't going to like it, but we should be able to make most of that fan interest back with the players that we only dropped from an 89 to an 86. That's not terrible. We'll make all of that back here too, I'm sure. So let's start with the big ones. Matt Brash wants 15.75, and he wants a long-term deal. This is his last year of arbitration. So we need to figure out what we want. He's 29. So will he take a 3-year deal? I can't imagine he takes a 3-year deal. I assume he's going to want some sort of ridiculous long contract, but we will see. Let's do 22.5 and 20. Yeah, he wants a ridiculous contract. All right. So we offer him 1 year at $15 million. And we talk about it with him over the course of the season and see if we can figure it out. Dollard is valuable for sure. Cool. Ellard at 1.4 is fine. So it'll be 1.325. Might be 1.350, yeah. $4 million for Meyer. Again, I think valuable given the flexibility. Really, that won't work. Could be that. Yep. Okay. Raylan Perez at 1.2. You have to assume he'll bounce back. The ratings suggest he's good enough to do so, and even if he doesn't, it's only $1.5 million. Schreiber wants 3. I think we're okay there. 2.85. Oops. Maybe 2.9. 2.9 does it. Sugestay wants 2.8. If he had cost us the World Series with those 2 errors, we might have a different decision to make, but I will take it here. Marcelo Meyer wants $8.8 million. He's 24 years old. Can we buy out? He wants 8.8. So can we do like 6, 10, 12, 15, 13? No. Doesn't want a long-term contract. Doesn't want a long-term contract. All right, so that's fine. At 8.8, so that means we'll go 8.5. Probably could have done 8.4, but we'll take 8.5. Parker Meadows at 4.8. Whoa. Let's do 3 years. Let's give him 3. 5.5 and 6.5. No, he really wants a long-term contract. I don't know that I want to give him that many years. Will he take 4? We can do something like that. Make this 3.5. It's a 7-year contract, huh? I mean, that's really cheap in the scheme of things. What if we go 5? We back everything down $1 million. Okay, that's fine. 4 years at, what is that? 12, 18, 21 million, $5 million a year. 24 years, $22 million. I'm good with that. All right, now we got Gorman and Green, the 2 big ones. So Gorman wants a long, I don't want to go long term. He's 27, but I'd be okay at 3 years, and he wants 14.3. So if we go 3 years at 13, 22, and 18. Okay. 13, 22, 18. So that's a 3-year contract at $53 million. Short term. I'm okay with short term contracts. I mean, that takes us till he's 30, and then we can kind of figure out what we want to do with him there. And now Riley Green, $30 million. I don't know that we're going to be able to sign him. I don't know that we have enough money. He wants 30. I don't know that we're going to have enough money to. I mean, we have him for the year, so I'm not worried about that. But the max offer we can make is 20. Yeah, the max offer we can make is this. And I can't imagine he takes that. Yeah. So we're just going to have to wait and see. Let's just offer $30 million flat. All right, so we're not going to be able to sign him, but we should be able to sign everybody else. Expansion teams. Let's see where Major League Baseball is expanding to. We don't know yet. All right, so we pick up our first base coach. Expansion teams chosen. Do we know where they? Oh, we don't know yet. Expanding. It's the Las Vegas River Kings and the. Oh, those are all minor league teams. I was like, those are pretty cool names. Let's see where the actual big league teams are. The Las Vegas River Kings and the Memphis Argonauts. Okay. That's interesting. Anybody out there is good with logos and wants to come up with a logo for each of those teams, that would be super cool. So expansion draft is on the 28th. It's the day after free agency, the day after arbitration. That's fine. All right, let's sim up a few days. So we get Schreiber signed his contract, Nolan Gorman, Parker Meadows, Max Meyer. We didn't get fan interest bumps for any of those players. Interesting. All right. That's okay. We still have Brash. I assume we'll get a bump for Brash. Potential Cy Young winner. Yeah, okay. Slight one. Just a slight one. So we should go from an 86 to an 87. Yep. Okay. We have a player who's we designated for assignment. Really? Oh, right. The 2 players we picked up in trades. Sick on the 40-man. I got the Gold Glove Award winners tomorrow. So, yeah, I mean, offensively, I think is where we're going to be looking for help here in the offseason. We have some money to play with, which is weird. No Gold Gloves. Nola, Hedges, Bohm, Allen, Arias, Young, McCarthy, Buxton, and Auer. In the NL, Sims, Romo, De La Cruz, Horner, Arenado, Cruz, Matos, PCA, and Drew Gilbert. We won the reliever of the year. Norge Vera is 6-2, 177 mark. We also had Cam Robinson on there, who's now with St. Louis. Norge Vera wins the Rolaids Relief Pitcher of the Year. Edwin Diaz in the NL. AL Silver Sluggers. Susac, Alvarez, Volpe, Acuna, Machado, Lars Nootbaar ended up with a 3.6 WAR. More power to him, I guess. Dominguez, Judge, and Otani. In the NL, Alvarez, Olsen, Merrill, Luciano, Lawler, Soto, Von Brown, Acuna, and Austin Riley. Rookie of the Year goes to Reese Chapman of the Yankees. in the NL, Connor Walsh for the Reds. We should win Manager of the Year. We do win Manager of the Year. Gabe Kapler in the NL. Cy Young Award does not go to Matt Brash, finishes 4th. Brandon Woodruff, 16-9, 2.59, wins it for the A's. Vince Sanchez of the A's finishes 2nd. Then Baz and Brash. Ryan really Pepio with an 11-12, 3.26 mark, wins the Cy Young in. I would have given it to Christopher Cruz. Holy moly. Anyway, all right. And your MVP. Aaron Judge in the NL. Estevan Machado, Dominguez, Otani. Did we have anybody? Riley Green all the way down here. And then Jackson Merrill in the National League. Wow, he has developed nicely. Cody Schreier, another player that we looked at a couple of times. He looks pretty studly too. All right, so let's see what Green gets in arbitration. Hopefully that doesn't eat into a lot of our off-season funds. He gets 31, so we lose about $1.5 million. Freeman files for free agency, so we will get a comp pick if he signs elsewhere. Let's look at the internationals. Young guy here. Yes, sir. So right away, just offer him a contract. He's 22. Will he take a 3-year deal at 1.5? Nope. Excuse me. He only wants the 1-year deal. Okay. It's off from the 1-year contract. 100%. Yep. A chance to take a shot at a young pitcher. You got to do that. All right, what do we got for free agents? Keller, Woodruff, Rogers, but it doesn't look like a great class. Some older talent there. And what do we have? $28 million for free agents, $79 for extensions. We should be able to bump ticket prices pretty substantially here, given. We have to submit our protection list. All right, let's do that, and then I'm going to take a quick break, guys. All right, let's look at batting ratings. So Green, Meyer, Gorman, Hernandez, Meadows, Sugesti, Rodriguez, probably Jace Jung too, but we'll get there in a second. Jaloff, just because he was our first-round pick. Montgomery. Nothing really there. Let's do it this way. I don't know why I'm looking at overalls. I should be looking at potentials. Not that that's going to change things a whole lot. I'd like to hold on to Pavloni. Not really. I don't care. I mean, I would take him if I was I was running a minor leagues. If I was running an expansion franchise. All right. Appleby, Serna, Vera, Meyer, Brash, Perez, Schreiber, Cease, Casetta, Stubbs, Aleman. That puts us at what, 19? So Ellard is 20. 21, 22, 23. Josh Agnes. I'd like to hold on to him, but so we can save. We can protect 2 more. I don't really see anybody else there that I'm super fussed about. We'll keep Hernandez. He's the one we just picked up. Cantorino. It gives us 24. Right. Okay. I guess his steal gets, that's fine. He's wrecked. I don't care. And then one more. Blake Hunt. It means we're going to lose Jace Jung, which is not great. But I think reasonable. All right, let's submit that. All right, and I'll be back in a second, and we will get to free agency. Hang tight. All right, I'm back. It's actually a lot quicker than I thought it was going to be. Jacking my chair around. That's the noise you guys hear in the background. All right, off season. We don't need any pitching. Right now our fifth starter is Colin McKinney. We also have Cantorino, who's on the 40-man. We have Elder, who's on the 40-man. I'm just trying to figure out, Aleman's on the 40-man. So we don't need any pitching. We don't need any pitching at all. Right now, this is our starting rotation. C. Sprash, Appleby, Serna, McKinney. It's really good. It's a really good rotation. Cease's contract expires after this season. He doesn't want... It's a reasonable contract. What about Barash? 7 years... give him 7 years. I would be content at 3. That's not what I wanted to do. Make the middle year 25 and then 22. He wants a long-term deal. All right, well, we'll keep talking to him. We've got a lot of money for extensions, but a lot of that will be wiped out depending on what we do here in free agency. So we don't need anything from a defensive perspective. Offensively, is a different story. We've got clear all lineups. We've got Sugesti as our starting catcher. Right now, Hernandez is our starting first baseman. I would rather have him as our DH, but in fact, I'm just going to list him as the DH. Marcelo Meyer is our second baseman. We have no shortstop. Nolan Gorman is our third baseman. Our starting left, and right now we don't have much in the outfield either. Riley Green is our starting center fielder. I'm not comfortable starting both Montgomery and Meadows, so we need a couple of things. We need a shortstop, we need at least one outfielder, and we need another bat. We need like 3 bats here. So let's look and see what's available in free agency that's not going to cost us an absolute fortune. Freeman wants $30 million. No. Ketel Marte, no. You can bring Benintendi back. Oh man, this is not ideal. Springer. Still really good against lefties. Passable against righties. That's an option. Oof. Dylan Dingler. He's really good defensively. Bring Springer in on a short-term deal. Like, we don't have anything even close right now, right? These 3 guys all start here next year, but that's AA. All right, so can we deal from a position of strength here? Some of these contracts, man. Grissom. I mean, he's really good, but that's ridiculous. And then Rushman is even worse. Well, I don't say worse, but 5 years, $241 million for a 30-year-old catcher. I mean, you do you. Alec Thomas is not. Oh, I guess he is technically real life Alec Thomas. That's not a bad contract. 3 years at $72 million. He was only good for 1.3 WAR last year. That's not great. Bringing Tristan Cassius. 3 straight 20 home run seasons. Bring in the number 17 prospect in baseball from the Cubs. I wouldn't hate that. He's elite defensively. I don't know. Peyton Graham? No. Jacob Berry was good for 2.9 WAR last year. No. Jordan Alvarez, but again, that's only a 1-year contract. We need a shortstop. Do we go Jeremy Pena? Suppose I should be looking at our ratings. Alvarez is out for 7 months. We could trade for them both. Pasquantino, the American League in doubles last year. I'm kind of digging the Jeremy Pena deal, honestly. 2 years. That's a player option. Ugh. That's the only concerning thing. I mean, he's really good defensively. He's more than passable with the bat. I was hoping that second year would be not an option. And that's looking like the best deal here, although O'Neal Cruz. We can move Gorman to first. 22, 23, 23. The bat's just okay. I mean, part of his value is in his defense, right? Yeah. Oh, they played him at first base most of the year. Okay, so he was just above average at third. Henry Davis. Zavala. No. CJ Abrams. I'm kind of liking the deal with Houston for Jeremy. He's 30, though. I didn't realize he was that old. I guess we have been playing for a while now. Incredibly durable. I mean, he's been good for 3 to 4 wins each of the last 4 years. Strike out a ton. His entire persona, is based on the home run power and his defense. He's viewed as a fast runner, above average shortstop. 22-22 for Pasquantino. He's not very good defensively. I mean, he's a great bat. But if we're going to spend 18 on Pasquantino, we may as well just spend 30 on Freeman and bring Freddie back. You want to give me Jordan too? You're not going to give us both. Let's try a little harder for a deal. Okay. How about retention? Like, would that work? How much can they retain? So retain that. I give you $400K to cover it. They'll retain 25%. What else can we get from Houston for this? They don't really have much. They're not a particularly good team. Number 72 prospect. He can't really play third base, though. Appleby, McKinney, Starna, the three pitchers that I can't give, especially if I give up Cease. And if I give up Cease, I can't give up one of those guys. Because here's the thing. We're not going to be able to sign both Cease and Brash. We might not even be able to re-sign one of them. But if we can only sign one of them, it's got to be Brash. And we need a shortstop. This absolutely fills a role for us. We would be paying him what's 75, 15? We'd be paying him about $15 million to play shortstop for us this year. Can potentially extend that into next season. Have a contract that we want to attach to that? I don't think so. We got a lot of bullpen arms, but I think that's okay. Excuse me. Oof. And he's never going to develop. So if you want Gabriel Rodriguez, you can have him. All right. So we're going to send Dylan Cease to the Houston Astros in exchange for Jeremy Pena. Because we've got... we have... we got Miggy still there, man. He's still there. He was really good at short last season. The ratings have started to dip. Pena's popular. Cease is very popular. So we are going to take a fan interest bump here, making this deal. The ratings have been... its potential has been up and down for the last couple of years, but the overall and the potentials have stayed pretty consistent. 65, 70, 60. He's not that much better than Rojas. I think we go back and do the Rojas thing. Go back and try to sign him again. So let's rethink this. Let's rethink this a little bit. Pasquantino, I don't think is worth it. O'Neal Cruz might be that option. His ratings have, against, I mean, they dropped a couple of years ago. The contact dropped in April. He's been a 3-win guy, really consistent with the bat. Let's do this. Can they retain any of it? They can't retain much. They can retain 15% if I throw in $500K. Gomez. Yeah, you want Ricardo Gomez? That's fine. So we'll keep O'Neal Cruz for a couple years. He'll play third base. We will move. And he's another lefty, so we are going to need to find some right-handed hitting in our lineup. But we'll move Gorman over to first. That makes Hernandez our DH. Yep. All right, so the fans don't like losing Dylan Cease. They like the fact that we picked up O'Neal Cruz. Fan interested in 86. That's fine. All right, so O'Neal Cruz is now our starting third baseman. Third base, first base. So that makes us better defensively on the infield. So an infield on the left side of O'Neal Cruz and okay. So I'm going to go into commissioner mode here, and I am going to edit my protection list because obviously I don't want to lose O'Neal Cruz. I didn't realize, or I guess I probably should have realized that was going to be a thing. But all right. And now we want to go into the offseason, free agents. Let's go back and talk to our boy, Rojas. He wants a 1-year deal for 9.5. I bet we can get him for like 7.5. Okay, that's fine. 7.5. And yeah, if Umeda is as good as he shows here and there's some development in the offseason, he can slide into the number 5 spot. All right, let's get to, is it time for the expansion draft? It is. All right, so the Las Vegas River Kings and the Memphis Argonauts. I don't think I need to add anybody else. No. All right, let's submit. All right, now we can get to the draft. When is the draft? Today. All right, start the draft. Complete the draft. Guadalupe went. That's fine. I don't really care. We didn't lose anybody that Cam Robinson. Okay. Gets traded to St. Louis. St. Louis doesn't protect him. Memphis picks him up. Interesting. All right. Okay, so we have $20 million right now to spend roughly, but that's before the signing of Rojas. We still need at least one more bat, right? You still need at least one more bat. Next, you assume I'm okay starting either Montgomery or Meadows in the outfield. I'm not comfortable starting them both. There's just not enough offense between the two of them. What does Riley Green want for an extension? That's something we're going to need to talk about. 5 years. There's something wonky here with the finances, because it says I have $57 million available for extensions, but if I try to sign Riley Green to an extension, it says my maximum allowable is $20 million. So there's something a little janky here. Oh, okay, so I can sign him. All right. So he wants that 5th year. He wants a lot of money. I don't know that I want. He's only 27. I mean, it doesn't feel unreasonable. I think we hold off though, because I think we can make some moves here to improve fan interest a bunch to get a budget increase come the preseason. So we need a shortstop and we need a couple of bats still, one of which needs to be an outfielder. So let's look at popularity. Auto, but he wanted 39 million dollars. We're going to take a bump when Freeman is when Freeman signs elsewhere. Let's talk to George Springer. I'm absolutely not giving you 3 years, but I'll do 2 years with a team option, and we'll cheese it a little bit. I don't care. Let's do $5 million this year and $10 million next year with a team option for next season. $1 million, so you get $1 million from us next season. Cool. All right. So we can bring in Springer. Hopefully the ratings last. Yeah, I mean his power dipped a little bit with the last ratings, but he can still hit lefties really well. So even if he's just a platoon guy, because our other two outfielders are lefties, I think that'll work. Not a lot of really popular players here. And then Freeman wants a 4-year contract. We'll keep an eye on Freddie. I can't imagine someone's going to give him a 4-year contract. I want to. Yeah, we got Green and Brash, both of whose contracts expire after this season. So we want 7 years. So it looks like I can sign one of these guys right now. So he wants 5 years. All right, let's talk to Riley here. So let's do 30 here. Let's do 35 here. Let's do 32.5. And then 30. He really wants that 5th year. Okay. So 30. 32.5. Oh, no, 35 here. And we'll do 35, and then we'll do 32.5 and 30. Ah, shoot. That's not what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to do. So he wants more money. He wants more money. All right, so 32.5, 35, 35, and 32.5. So he just wants a lot of money, is what he's asking for here. All right, what about 33.5? And then 35, 35, and 33. It's not that far off. He just wants $35 million. He only wants 4 years, and really it's probably 34. And then we'll do 35, 35, 34. Huh. Okay, so he really wants. All right, so let's give him the 37 here. And then we'll go 35. I don't know that I can go that much higher than that. Okay. I'm not going any higher than that. Not going any higher than that. I think I'm going to screw with this offline. You guys are going to, this is going to make you guys nuts. So let's get to next month. See what we see in December. We'll do our international stuff. Still very, this is great. I mean, if we can walk out of here with Alvaro, Miranda, and Alvarado, sure. All right. Rojas, Springer, and Umeda. Yeah, we don't have much money for free agents left. We got $54 million left for extensions, which means we can potentially sign both Brash and Riley Green. I feel like, especially with Brash's 1.8. All right, San Francisco. Let's go to 3. Especially with Brash's the stamina upgrade, him going to a 45 stamina, he becomes a true legit. The Cubs signed Arenado. Once we get to the trade block or the winter meetings, we'll see what he signed for. $102 million over 3. That's a reasonable contract. Woodruff also with Chicago. Wow, the Cubs throwing money around. Springer. Soto making $64 million. Vlad 55. Oof. Okay. Winter meetings. Who's on the trade block? Byron Buxton. We needed an outfielder. Who would you want for 10-5? Chris Bryant, $26 million. I mean, do we go back and talk to? No. I like the idea of Alvarez. He's out for 6 months, so he'd be out until June. So what would it take for? Okay, so there's just nothing. Okay, yeah, I'm not giving you one of my best players for somebody that we would have for half the season. Yandy at 17 million. No, I still am kind of digging the idea of Jeremy Pena. I don't know what it is, but if I can get them to retain a large portion of it. I mean, everything being equal, Pena is a better player. So can we make something happen here? Let's look at our prospect pool. Anybody here that I'm willing to? I'll give you Riley Jackson. Mesh hasn't changed it at all. Zanger's ratings have dropped. I'll give you Dan Zanger. We're close now. That's not really close, though. It's not really close. Okay, so I can give you Hunt. We take Tenorio off that. No, we can't. So if we do this, that's a lot to give up for Jeremy Pena. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Get myself a little out of control here when I start looking at the block. The player I would really like is Buxton. Those silly 10-5 rules. All right. Arroyo, meh. Michael Bush looks pretty good. Oh, wow. Michael Bush looks really good. He can play the outfield, I guess. I mean, if we platoon him and Springer, let's just see what they want offhand right away. Tenorio, what if you retained? All right, let's just go to 100%. What's it going to take for that? A lot. Okay, so let's go back down to 90. JP Crawford, sure. And this is why we make these deals, right? This is why we sign all these players in at the beginning of the season so that we can fill our minor league system with players that the teams may like. So we'll bring in Michael Bush. We won't pay him a dime, and we now have a platoon bat out in left field. He's not a great bat, or he's not a great glove. But he can hit righties, and that's all he'll do. So we will make him a left fielder. And he'll hit against righties. Springer will hit against lefties. That'll be our outfield platoon. So that helps. Let's just look and see. Yeah, I mean, it's still Freeman, but I mean, have his demands changed at all? Detroit is going to give him 3 years at about $80 million. It's a lot of money. I mean, he was good last year, but I mean, he's quickly becoming I mean, it's passable against lefties still, but what do we got for popularity amongst pitchers? I mean, because we have the money to spend, so what does Hader want to come back? $18 million. I don't think so, Josh. And not a lot of popular pitchers out there either. All right, let's see if we can get any of these players to sign. Nothing yet. Let's get to the Rule 5. Trade proposal from the Tigers. No. Good there. Rule 5 is tomorrow. Anybody we want to put on? We're going to lose so many of these players in the Rule 5, but that's fine. We'll just sign them again in the off season. It's these players that I want to look at. Mullinax has to go on the 40-man. I think that's it. Yeah. All right. Rule 5 draft. Yep. All right, so we only lost one player. It's fine. Batting potential batters. What do we have for hitters in the draft? Anything? Nope. Doesn't appear so. Tonti. Elijah Green. Doesn't look like he's going to make it out of the minors in this playthrough. Gabriel Moreno. Wow. Okay. He caved. All right, what about pitchers? Jordan Hicks. All right, doesn't look like there's much here. Yep. All right, we're going to go ahead. Barrow. He looks interesting. Great stuff. Great movement. That 30 control is brutal. All right, we're not going to do anything in the Rule 5 this year. I don't see anything that's uber intriguing. So let's go ahead and complete the draft. And I am going to pause, and I'm going to go ahead and do the next month offline, and we'll come back at International Amateurs. So I will be right Back. All right, we're back with international amateurs, and I did make a trade. But I guess before we get to that, fan interest dropped to an 83 because Freddie Freeman signed a contract elsewhere with the Detroit Tigers. 3 years, $74 million. We are going to get a compensatory first-round draft pick, so you'll love to see that. The deal that we made was with Detroit, actually. We traded Dan Zanger. We traded the Sheriff as the ratings were starting to go the wrong direction. The potential dipped. Looks like he's dropped, everything dropped 5 points or so, 10 points on his stuff. And we also have a lot of pitching depth. So we traded Zanger and then a couple of outfielders. These are the depth guys that we take in the draft who, are really good defensively, but maybe can't hit. To Detroit, and we get Jackson Jobe. They're going to retain 40% of Jackson's contract. So we're going to pay him about $3.6 million, something like that this year. Serviceable pitcher, back of the rotation guy. Assuming Yoshio Umeda doesn't work out. I suspect he will, but this allows us to start him in AAA if we need to. And we also pick up Peyton Graham, who is a low work ethic corner infielder / left fielder who can absolutely rake against lefties, which is something that we are lacking. That 70 contact against lefties is huge. So this will protect us if George Springer's ratings drop. So those are the two things that happened between last time we spoke and now. It's time for international amateurs, and I know who we are going after. We are going after Mr. We're going to go after Olvera first. So $900K. Let's offer him $750 just because there's low interest in him. Luis Olvera. He looks like a really good potential third baseman. There was Daniel Miranda, average work ethic or average league interest, strong relationship at 1.3. Let's offer him 1.5. And then I did offer him the contract, right? We did, yeah. And that leaves us with Alvarado. A very strong average league interest. Let's start him at $750. Let's see if we can get those three guys. And then if we have any money left, maybe we invest money elsewhere. Another trade proposal from the Tigers. They want all of our young players. Alvarado, Miranda, Olvera, all three like our contract proposals. Let's see if we can just lock all three of them down. No, Miranda wants more, which is okay. He's up to 3, so let's just bump it to 3.7. So that's the max we can do. We got Olvera and Alvarado, so that's good. Alvarado, I don't know if this is going to be great, but ground ball pitcher, throws 93 to 95. He's 6'4", 190 pounds. So you have to think that as he gets older, that'll develop. The stuff may develop as well. And then we get Olvera, who I'm really excited about as a OSA hates him, but our scouts really like him. So high work ethic, high intelligence guy, so we will see. All right, let's keep going. I don't want any of these job offers, so thank you for that. I will pass. Did we get him? Nothing yet. He still likes our offer. We can't offer him anymore. Yep, we can't offer him any more than that. So, all right, that's fine. Let's go back to international amateurs. Rivera's a low work ethic guy. High work ethic, sure. I mean, I was going to say, I don't think we're going to have enough money to offer. I mean, we'll offer the 3.7 to this guy because we can, but all right, preseason. You would think the fact that we won the World Series last year, there we go. That's what I was hoping for. And we lose Josh Hader. I was hoping that we would be able to bring him in, but that's going to drop the fan interest to an 80. We do have some money to spend, though, so we could potentially look at some trade block guys. He did bump our team budget, which is nice. Any free agents that are... I want to see if I can get that fan interest up here a little bit before the season starts. Albert Abreu. Ugh, yeah, there's no, not really anybody who's... no pitchers anyway. No players at all that are incredibly popular. What about trade block? Alvarez is still there. Buxton, who we can't take. Luis Castillo. I mean, I'm still kind of leaning towards maybe picking up Jeremy Pena. Has Buxton changed his mind here yet? He hasn't. What about Bryant? Nope. Like, what's the point of putting him on the trade block if they won't waive their 10-5? Luis Castillo? So I'm going to mess with that, I think, here in the kind of between now and the next episode. I'm going to see if we can sign that last minor leaguer, or international guy, I should say. Yeah, Rivera. We'll keep going. Nope. Okay, that's fine. So we'll pocket that money, I guess. So that's going to do it, guys. I am now going to sim ahead to the beginning of the season, and that'll be the next episode. We added a couple of bats to our lineup, which is something we needed, most notably O'Neal Cruz. He'll come in and play third base for us. We added George Springer as a... this is what I was afraid of. The ratings dropped, but bringing in Michael Bush, who can really hit righties, and Peyton Graham, who can really hit lefties, will make up for that, I think. Otherwise, we're a very similar team. We got a couple of contracts that expire next season that we are going to have to figure out. Right now, we can only sign one of them, Riley Green or Matt Brash, who's likely to be our opening day starter. I think if I'm signing either, I'm probably signing Riley Green. I mean, he's going to be a left fielder starting next season, which is fine. And we don't really have anybody ready to come up and play center. Mullinax is getting there. He's probably our opening day starting center fielder either next year or the year after. We got Harrison Bader we can go to if we need to. So that's going to do it, guys. So when we come back, it'll be opening day, and we will start the defense of our World Series title. Thanks for watching. I hope you appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. And we're just going to go ahead and end it here. I'm going to end it definitely on a down note. Have a great day, guys. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.